What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports, hold on, motherfucker. That left the damn thing up. But yeah, I'll be talking out my ass. You know, Sauce Sports is the Houston Texans homer network. Means we talking all sports, but only Houston. With that being said, as I'm adjusting this, There we go. We got a gentleman from around getting down with us this evening, man. Who we got in the mix tonight, man?
Man, it's the throw. This is your boy Spencer. Definitely it's the throw. What's good, Sauce Nation?
Ready. So, a couple things here, we're going to talk about, we're going to discuss. Getting into, I got a question for you, Spence, before we see who we got in the mix this evening.
Okay.
Did you have to work today?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. When you went into work today, were you embarrassed to talk about the Texans?
Man, okay. As y'all know, like, I actually work with a Titans fan, and as soon as I got out the car, he's walking out the break. He's working out when we clock out it, looking at me. As soon as he sees me, he just busts out laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And he know me so well because he knew what I was going to say before I was going to say. He said, before you say, I already know what you're going to say. I said, what? He said, Ravens best team in the league, Lamar Jackson the MVP. I said, you must have watched my video. He said, no, but I know you. I said, that's a damn shame because that's exactly what I said. I wasn't embarrassed because, actually, to be honest, I was mad that they took a knee at the end. I wanted them to continue to pour on.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted them to continue to pour on. I wanted them. I was mad at the Texans scored. I wanted them to be, even though it was already an embarrassment, I wanted them to continue to pile on. I want them to sit in that. I want them to sit and stew in that. I want that to be a nice long plane ride home because that was horrible. That was a horrible effort and performance on all parts, except for 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hop was, to me, the only person who played yesterday. Hop was the only person who came to play yesterday.
Yeah, real tough. All right, let's see if we got join us real quick, and then we're going to get into some good conversation. I say, Wink in the building. INF Storms, what's the motherfucking deal? Jackson, I'm just going to call you Jackson. Joseph Lopez. Let's see. Texas boy, you betcha. DK, Dakota in the building. Tommy Hartzell, what's the motherfucking deal? Footballer 503 Gilmore, what's the motherfucking deal? McCarty in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? DEP plays, Tucker in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Jaja, Cayman James, what's the motherfucking deal? Rigo, Asmail, Jabari, what's the motherfucking deal? Sherman Hill, what's the motherfucking deal? Corey Jackson, L. Murray, Eric Griffin, what's the motherfucking deal? Luke in the building. Luke, man, you called it, man. You said, and I knew it when I read your comment the other day when you said, every time we get to talk this shit, we get our asses kicked, basically, paraphrasing. And when I read it, I was just like, God damn, you're right. But I'm talking big shit. There's a method to my madness. I'm explaining to y'all in just a little bit why. There's a couple of reasons I was overly positive last week, and I'm gonna explain why, because it was really the return on investment, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Just Tinny in the building. Let's see. Chopper Slim, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Let me see. Eastside Herald in the building. Master Race, what's the motherfucking deal?
It's too much sauce.
Let's see. How about them Rockets? Fuck the Magic. Henderson is cut. We got no safeties. Good luck, man.
Hey, if it wasn't for the Magic, I'd have been at Shea Sharp restaurant all weekend because Tech lost and the Texans lost, but at least the Magic won. So
okay.
that was the only thing I had to celebrate yesterday.
Man, you gotta take them where you can get them, man.
You gotta take them when you can get them.
Thank God, Harden doing his he's on his little streak. Adrian McGinley, what's
7 in a row, huh?
Yeah, I think it was 7 in a row, but he didn't drop with like damn near 40 in the last 6-7 games or so. So all the last couple of wins, he can drop like 40 in each one of them. I think he had like 36 one of them and 39 one of them, but basically 40.
Yeah.
Lamel, what's the motherfucking deal? Lamel was on the scene yesterday, man. He was at the game. He had some fire ass seats, and I was supposed to link up, but I was gonna bring him on. And man was so mad. He said, "Oh, I can't even do it, man." I said, "I don't even blame you, man. It is what it is, Jack. You can't. I wouldn't force you to do such a terrible thing." Ruben, Professor Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? Ahmed, what's the motherfucking deal? So let's talk about it, man. Yesterday. Whew, it was a tough situation, man. It was real tough to endure through that game. It was real ugly. People was hitting me up saying, Honcho, start the pregame show early. It's a wrap. The train that left the station is over with, man. And I was just like, we gotta ride it out. We gotta finish it up. But there's a common factor. If y'all didn't see the video put up earlier that Tenny did, y'all lacking. Y'all need to watch that video because Tenny hit on a lot of very interesting things. And for those of you who swear that B.O.B., some of those fraudulent characters used to come in here and swear B.O.B. was a top coach. Well, it is what it is. We want to talk about big wins. We want to talk about opportunities to put yourself in position. How come we'll start with this. How come every time there's a chance for the Texans to solidify themselves, not only in the conversation, but actually in position when it comes to playoff seeding, they fail? Last year they had some opportunities late in the season to secure the number 2 seed. They failed. We can talk about way back when. We can talk about the Kubiak era. We ain't going to do that, but we'll get on back on Bill O'Brien. But, they had a chance. If they beat the Ravens, then I believe you have the number 2 seed. Then, because you have the tiebreakers, then, whatever happens when you go on with the Patriots and everything else, it is what it is. But now, you drop from where I think they were number 3 down to number 6 or something like that. And now I think the chances, they said, of a bye week went from 20% to 1%. And the chances of winning the division, they're not even, the Texans are not even favorites to win the division right now. So again, all with that loss, you have the same record as Indy. We can talk about we'll talk about Indy a little bit later in the stream, but just why is it, what is it in your opinion that just happens when the big game, when games that are high value, people say, oh, this game wasn't important. It was extremely important. I tell y'all, don't let the fucking communist Texans PR regime sell y'all that bullshit. This was an extremely important game because, again, like I said, all the positioning, if you're thinking long term, it was extremely important. But why can't the Texans ever get over that hump when it comes down to winning the most important games, the valuable games, games that put you in position to really be in that conversation? What do you think that is, man?
Because 9 times out of 10, they don't have the best coach on the field to coach them up and to prepare them into games. Like I said, shout out to Titty because like Titty did drop some good stuff in their video, but I thought it was something. I thought he was going to lean somewhere else, but he kind of switched on me. So I guess I'm gonna pick up something that he missed. I thought he was gonna elaborate on, because even though we getting to the same destination, the destination is we need a different head coach. Mm-hmm. The road he went was a different road, and not to say that I don't agree with it. Some of the logic is slightly flawed, and this is the reason why. Okay, when we talk about this game, we talk about Sunday's game against the Ravens. We talk about the Colts game on Sunday. On Thursday. I've been telling y'all for weeks that the Colts game out of the next 3 games was the most important for 2 reasons. One, it's a divisional game. 2, they've already beaten you. You could have beat the Ravens and then lose to the Colts. You would go from the 2 seed to the 6 seed anyway. And then you wouldn't have a tiebreaker because, one, they'll have a better record, and 2, they have the complete tiebreaker because they swept you. Yeah. So it's all for naught. You could beat the Ravens and beat the Patriots and lose to the Colts and not win the division and still beat the 6 seed. You could beat all the teams that you wanted to beat, but lost to the team in your division, and you still start off wild card weekend on the road. Yeah. And you put yourself in a harder position to get to your ultimate goal, which is a Super Bowl. So that's why you have to. I know we talk about AFC. We're tired of winning the AFC South. That don't really mean anything, but that is part of the things that you have to do to get into a bye. So you can't have a number 1 or 2 seed without winning the division first and foremost. So that's the reason why that game is important. But he brought up how we never beat anybody that goes to a conference championship game. Every time we play a team that was in the conference championship game, we lose. And he was saying that's one of the reasons why he wanted to file Bill O'Brien. If, say for instance, we already beat Kansas City, and we beat Oakland. Say Kansas City and Oakland make it to the AFC Championship game. Is that reason to keep Bill O'Brien because you beat both of them? My thing is, what have you done? And he brought up something like this is what I thought that he was going to get on, but he didn't elaborate. So I'll elaborate on him. Bill O'Brien with his coach a complete 5 seasons, correct?
Yes, 5. This will be a 6th one. So yes,
this is a 6th one. So he's coached 5 seasons.
Yeah.
In those 5 seasons, what he always like to tell you, AFC champion, AFC South champions.
Yeah.
Out of those 5 seasons, he's won 3 AFC titles, correct? AFC South titles, correct?
Yeah.
The 2 years that he didn't win, 14 and 17, the teams that won the AFC South, the Colts and the Jags, both made it to the AFC Championship game.
Exactly.
You had 3 cracks at it,
Yeah.
and you never made it. That's more damning. That's more alarming. You allowed 2 teams in your division while you've been the head coach here to go on and win the division and make the AFC South, make the AFC Championship game, and that's the only time both teams have won the division since you've been there. Other than that, you've won the division, but you can't make it past outside of a Connor Cook led team.
Exactly.
You can't win. Outside of a Connor Cook led team, so it means you've had 3 chances at home. The only team you can beat is Connor Cook. Ain't Connor Cook in the XFL? Don't he play for the Roughnecks now?
Yeah, I think he was in the mix. Either that or he worked at Publix. Something.
Like, he's not in the NFL. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
He's not playing.
I don't think he played a game. I don't think he played a game after that game. If I'm not mistaken,
I wouldn't play him either.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. And that's who you beat. You know, a team who basically out of desperation had to play who they had.
Because both Derek Carr and I forgot because Connor Cook wasn't even their backup. Their backup got hurt too.
Yeah,
they lost Derek Carr and their backup. You were playing against a 3rd string quarterback, and you looked okay in that. You looked okay in that way, but I took that with 10 grains of salt because of the competition that you was playing against. Now, the defense looked great against the Patriots that next week in the divisional round, but you did have Brock Osweiler and Will Fuller drop the catch, and we gonna talk about that another time. But other than that, you don't even be competitive, let alone beat somebody. You weren't competitive against the Chiefs, and you weren't competitive against Indy last year. Oh, and by the way, something we ain't mentioned in that same span in the 17th season, we also let Mike Mularkey and Mariota get a playoff win too on the road against the Chiefs. So you've had 3 teams all 3 teams in your division have solid playoff wins. 2 of them made the conference championship games, and the other team, who we bash on Mariota all the time, but he got more playoff wins than Watson right now.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
And against a legitimate, I think that team was 11-5. That was 11-5 Kansas City Chiefs team on the road, and they went on to beat them. But yet, you can't beat nobody unless it's Connor Cook. Man. That's the reason why you need to get rid of Bill O'Brien.
Well, I mean, I have nothing to say on that. I mean, you didn't seal the deal, put the icing on the cake, and I mean, shit. That's I mean, that's it, and that's the crazy thing because, and expand on that just a little bit is just that because you look at where the Jags have been. The Jags have come from trash, the below mediocrity, surpassed you at least that one year and took it to a higher platform, and have fallen back to mediocrity since then. But you still barely. I mean, you've had the most stability of any team over that span, in my opinion. And I think that's what it is because you had a lot of injuries. Is why you won the division a couple of times. You had some advantages. You know, we can talk about Luck being out. We can talk about the Jags being complete trash. We can talk about the Titans going through some of their phases or whatever. And so you were able to capitalize on that. You know, but outside of, to me, like I said, and that's my thing. Is that. Yes, he's got a winning record. Yes, he's been winning the division, but he's been able to. Bill O'Brien has been the most fortunate head coach. I mean, I mean, outside of, and the thing with Belichick is, the AFC East is trash. It is what it is. Outside of the Patriots, and it's a weak division, and you can call it what you want to. That's fine, but he wins the games he's supposed to win, even when it comes outside of the division. Bill O'Brien has had the most fortunate career inside of this division, in my opinion, that has made him look better than what he is. That's why when people just rely solely on the numbers, it looks good, but then when you really get into detail, it's like, man, this is kind of a joke. This is really a joke.
And also, it was Chuck Pagano, it was Mike Mularkey, it was, I forgot who else was the Jags coach in the beginning. Like, I mean, the Titans have turned over their coach 3 times since he's been the head coach. It went from Kit Winston-Hunt to Mike Mularkey to now Vrabel. And Vrabel's beating you. Vrabel comes under your tree and he beats you.
In his first game.
First game with Blaine Gabbert. Like, with Blaine Gabbert. Like, you completely get out coached anytime it's a coaching challenge. Yeah. And anytime it's a coaching challenge. And like I say, Everybody got where they had yesterday because Watson played like chicken shit yesterday too. But in that same time, I've seen Watson play at a higher level. So yes, I'm going to blame him and give him fault because he's not absolved of criticism. He got to get his criticism when he deserves it. But I heard somebody say he got an 800 credit score with me. Like his credit score is at 800 with me, so I'm not questioning him.
No.
I got shaken off. You had a bad game. Now Bill O'Brien, he looking at a 580, close to 400 right now. When it comes to credit score, it's time that you need to file for bankruptcy. Like, that's what it is. I mean, it is what it is. And not to mention, you're supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. You're supposed to be the offensive guru.
Right.
That was the problem yesterday was your offense. And you had 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah,
come on.
That kills me. That shit blows my mind, though. Like, that you couldn't really put it they gave, what's the name of that touchdown? They didn't even want to tell. They just was like, fuck it. You know, ain't no point even getting hit. They gave Hyde that touchdown.
But no, that, like, until you get Watson, I think they've always been in the bottom half. They always been in the 20s ranked offensively. Yeah. They never had a good offense. Mm-hmm. Well, they've never had a good.
All these weapons.
All these weapons. And you can't do anything offensively. I don't get it. His first year, he had Dre, Hop, and Foster.
Mm-hmm. I got a question for you, though. So we talking about the division and his failure to do. And this is something I've been saying, and I talked about the Colts, man, early in the year, because to me, I feel like the Texans are more talented than the Colts, but it comes down to the coaching. And Frank Reich has came in, out of the 4 games, 3 out of the 4 games has beaten you. Almost all 4. Y'all can sit here and push it how y'all want to. That was an errant luck pass away from being swept, honestly, in the last 2 years, or in the last 4 games by the Colts. It's almost reminiscent of the Peyton Manning days. It could have been that bad because it's terrible, man. It's like it makes you sick. And then again, beating you with Brissett, beating you with Luck, it doesn't matter. But this weekend coming up, T.Y.'s out. Marlon Mack's going to be out for a few weeks. So they're missing their most essential weapons. What happens if the Texans lose this game?
If the Texans lose, you almost, at this point, have to hope they get dismantled against the Patriots. Mm-hmm. And then maybe Kyle say enough is enough because you come off the bye week 0-3. I mean, and that's 2 times in back-to-back years. Mm-hmm. You come off the off-season, start off 0-3. Then you come off the bye week sitting at 6-3 looking lovely and go 0-3 and put you right back into now you're clawing for a playoff spot. Yeah. Now, I think they still forcing it with some tiebreakers because they beat the Raiders and things like that. And then 2 of their losses come to NFC opponents, and those things, how you do against your conference, come into a factor. Mm-hmm. So they 2 of your losses come against NFC opponents that helps you, but at the same time, you got to stop the bleeding, and you have to stop the bleeding because, like I said, it's obviously not getting done. Like, you can't even afford to lose admirably against the Colts. Mm-hmm. You have to beat the Colts. There's no way. Like, and we talk about how important. We can talk about the importance of the game. We couldn't look like how we looked yesterday. No. I think if we lose, like I said, if we lose 31-30, I think everybody feels different. No. Yeah, man. The Ravens are a good team, but we feel like we can compete.
Yeah, exactly. But when you get a fucking foot put in your throat, you know what I'm saying? They leave a shoe in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, man. It's just like, what the fuck? And I ain't gonna lie, man. As much as I rock with Watson, I don't know. Again, players see it differently. They getting paid. They know, hey, game over. I'm finna collect my game check. It is what it is. So to them, it's different. Us as fans, because we don't have that input. We watching it. We represent it. Is what it. I don't know. I was a little irritated with the jersey exchange. You know what I'm saying? It bothered me a little bit. I know they cool. They not just the best of homeboys. It is what it is. But it bothered me a little bit.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. Even though I was mad when he said this, but what he said was true. A couple years back when LeBron lost his first finals with the Heat, and he said everybody like tell me y'all gonna wake up still have the life I live. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow rich. Like. We as fans, like, we take these games more serious because to us it's entertainment, to them it's a job. Yeah. Like, they still millionaires after the day. Like they go out to the club after the game after they lost. Like they don't wallow in the pity like how we want them to.
They just got off work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
They just got off work and shit. They still rich. No matter if they go 0-16. Yeah, you got some people who want to win, who desperately want to win. Yeah, I got that. You got some people who desperately want to pad their stats, but you also got some people who just want to collect checks.
Yeah.
But they are just gifted by God to have the talent to go out there and do things at a high level. Some of us we're not that fortunate to have that type of talent. They just happen to have that type of talent and able to get paid for it. So to them, it is what it is. Like, yeah, we lost. Okay, fuck it. We lost. Cool. That check still cashing? Okay, cool. Because I'm pretty sure if your job hand you $1 million, you can have a bad day at work, but you gonna look at that check? Okay, cool. Never mind. Shit, we about to go to the club. We about to go to the mall. We about to go do this. So, like, yeah, I feel you like about the irritation, but like that's how they think of it. It is what it is. It's just another day. Yeah. It's just another day. They not really wallowing like that. You got something to do, but in saying that, the look in his eye when they put McCarron in, he was sitting on the sideline. He did have like a vengeance type look. Yeah. Like when the camera, like the way he was squinting. I mean, I don't know if he felt that he should finish out the game or what, but he did have a look in his eye like he was pissed. Now after the game, he felt like he's like I said, he's smiling in the picture with Lamar, and that could be just hey, I got a short memory, I got to bounce back. I can't hold on to this because this can't linger over to Thursday because once it lingers over to the next game, you play even worse.
Exactly. Okay, I feel you on that. But my thing is this, right? What the hell you talking about? Fuck you, DeMarcus. Look, I had a couple of sacks that game, so one was entitled. Fuck you. But anyway, my thing is this, right? And there's been a lot going on. You said you want to speak on it. I didn't necessarily get to catch that part, but a lot has been going on with the. This is off Texans topic. Then we're gonna come back to some other things, but the Kaepernick situation. You were saying you had something that you kind of wanted to touch on with that. How do you feel about everything that's going on with that?
Because everybody keeps on missing the most important thing from this whole situation. Everybody is glossing over the most important thing. What Cap gave the NFL an out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, their job is done.
Like he gave them an out. He gave them see, I told you he's not all about football, and that's all they got. Now, anytime a question gets asked about Cap, we gave him opportunity. He wanted to move the venue and didn't want to show up. Yeah. That's all they got to do now. He did exactly what the NFL wanted him to do. He gave them a reason to say you more about this than about football. We don't want the show. Yeah, like that's exactly what he did. Like he should have pulled what he should have done because leading up to this, like we could talk about it all day long. The whole kneeling, what they did, they bend the narrative, made it about the military. It made it more about the flag than it was. It wasn't nothing about that. We didn't say this 1,000 times. They kept on changing the narrative, kept taking the attention away from what it was supposed to be on. Yeah. All right, fast forward to 3 years later, they talk about giving him a tryout. Yeah. No one's talking about kneeling. Yeah. We're talking about specifically about the tryout. Yeah. Kaepernick basically did what the NFL did and flipped the narrative back over to the politics side. What Cap should have did was show up to the tryout, and if they would ask him any questions, pull the Marshawn Lynch. I'm here to play football. Yeah. I'm here to work out, show my talents for all 32 teams to see. The teams that weren't able to make it, the teams that wouldn't make it. So hopefully somebody give me a shot. So I've been ready. Yeah. I kept it specifically about that. Yeah. Then when you get signed to the team, because people still kneel, you can still kneel. I mean, Ken Stills kneels every game. Yeah. So you can still get, when you get signed, you can kneel. Yeah. But
get signed first.
You got to get the job first. You got to get the job first. That's like you get an interview to a job and you go out there with your demands. Well, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take an hour-long lunch break. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I need this. I need that. Like the job gonna be like, oh wait, can you get the job first before you start making demands?
Yeah. And my thing with that is, like I say, regardless of how people feel about it, because I felt like I understand what he was doing. I thought he should have went about it different. I think there's some ways, in my opinion, I've had some ideas of how you could get a lot more attention to that. It is what it is. And then I do think that there's some questioning behind the motives and stuff like that. I do have that because you didn't see a lot of this stuff when he was world famous Super Bowl attending Cap. You didn't see a lot of these behaviors changed when. Some other people came and was like, but whatever his motivation were, it's his life to live. I'm like, say, I feel you have the right to free speech. You do what you do. But to me, like you said, this right here, you went and made a sideshow with a shit. You had an NFL facility. You had NFL scouts there or representatives, whatever, from at least 25 teams. And then an hour before the opportunity, you move it 1 hour away. Who the fuck is who's gonna do it doesn't mean, and I know I think 4 people still showed up. I forgot who all.
It was 8 teams. And the funny thing about one of the 8 teams was the 49ers, the team that you just played for. They know how you play.
Yeah.
They know how you play. And it's not like and my thing, I didn't think the workout was going to change anything because we all know if you can throw or not. I mean, because you throwing against air. Like
exactly.
You go out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure you put Favre out there right now against air. Favre's gonna look decent. He's not reading the defense. He's not getting pressure in his face. So he's not. Yeah. He's just playing 7-on-7 ball right now. Not even that because he's not even a defender. He's just going out there just.
Yeah.
It's not really showing you much. I think like I said, it was more to see. I think it was more so a test of the NFL trying to test if you're going to make a spectacle, because what we do know about, and this is true about all coaches, in general, general managers, they don't like when you make it more about you.
Yeah.
Think about this. Jalen Ramsey is one of the best corners in the NFL. And Jacksonville was happy to get rid of him because of the way he played, because of the way he acts.
Yeah.
So if they're not going to take that from their top tier players, they're not going to take it from a backup quarterback.
Exactly.
They're not going to take it from a backup quarterback. I didn't make the rules. Don't blame me. I didn't make the rules. That's the rules that's what they are going by. So sometimes you got to.
Exactly.
I'm not telling you what he should do. I'm telling you how it is.
Exactly.
Especially as us as black people, we all know this. The saying that I'm pretty sure your mama and daddy, your grandma, your grandpa told you this 1,000 times, because we've heard this 1,000,000 times as long as we've been black, we've heard this. That we got work twice as hard to go half as.
Yeah, that's a universal term in the black family. Yeah, I definitely heard that.
We got work twice as hard just to get half as far.
Yeah.
So you know that you're gonna have to go through all these hoops, jump all these hoops, just to get a half opportunity. It's not gonna be fair. It's never been fair to us. Nothing's yes, on an even playing field, Cap would have been had a job. Yeah. But we are never on an even. When have we ever been on an even playing field?
But here's the thing, though. You know what? Cap has never heard that because Cap didn't grow up in a black household. So Cap don't think like, and so he ain't never heard that saying. You know what I'm saying? He ain't Cap. Look, again, like I said, Cap in his situation, I just got questions about the motives and a lot of stuff with it. Because like I say, it's just some things that, hey, if you standing up for people's rights, it's all good. I'm not knocking you for standing up for what you believe in. I just question his motives. I can't knock the fact that he actually put his money where his mouth is and he did all that stuff. I just got some questions. I don't think he's the people act like he's the new Muhammad Ali and all this other stuff. I'm like, y'all are really going too fucking far with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all have really lost your mind. I don't put him on this level. Hey, you had a dispute, had a discrepancy. He really put himself in the situation by opting out of the contract and everything else that he had, because he would have still been playing. It wouldn't have been 3 years and whatever else it would have been. So he kind of put himself in this situation. Then we can talk about the Baltimore situation. Ray Lewis was championing for the man, trying to get him on, trying to get him with the Ravens. Like somebody mentioned, he'd have basically been what he could have been what Lamar Jackson is today. But what happened?
Or at the very least, RG3.
Exactly.
But like I said, my thing is like right wrong, because like I said, I feel him. Mm-hmm. Like I said, like don't get me wrong, I feel him that he won his camera crew because he didn't want them to go out there and and try being like, oh, well, man, Cap looked horrible. Like, for them to go out there and basically bash, like, he came in, but he was out of shape, he was this, he was that. Basically put things untrue. I get all that. So that I understand that. I understand that. So I'm with him on that. This was my whole thing. Is once you moved it, once you just put the ball back in their court. Like, okay, we just gonna run, because all they're gonna do is just revert back to that. Just revert back to, well, we gave him opportunity. If anybody asks Roger Goodell, ask him about Kaepernick, the first thing he's going to say, we gave him opportunity for a workout Saturday. Colin felt that that wasn't the best venue for him. He switched opportunities. Out of the 25 teams, only 8 teams were able to make it. Maybe the 17 teams that were originally going to come weren't able to make it. Maybe one of those teams would have gave him opportunity. But they're going to basically put it that you fucked up. Because you basically gave them out. You gave them every rhyme and reason to say no. That was just my whole thing, and that's what everybody's missing. He gave him an out. He gave him a complete out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But he played himself. That's what I was telling. I was using nobody. I forgot that dude's name. Say, put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself. That's basically what he did. And again, show up, execute. If you know you got it, if you know you got the juice, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Again, they said they was gonna give you the raw footage. They was gonna have a camera crew there, whatever. Somebody said they was gonna allow his media. Some people said no, but then some people said they wanted he wanted TV station. Again, like I say, you're gonna get a whole bunch of different stories from both sides. Both gonna say different stuff. But you talk about the waiver. The NFL said it's a standard waiver. He said it wasn't a standard waiver. He never saw it before. You can argue all that, whatever. Again, Cap was given an opportunity that you've never seen anyone else get. Since when have you ever seen an individual get an NFL sanctioned workout at an NFL facility, specifically for that one individual? Basically to throw on air. Not a pro day, not a combine, not anything. Hey, we're setting up an opportunity for you. You say you've been working out every day for the last 3 years. You ready to go? You good to go? Whatever it may be. I feel like he played something like you said. You got to think about it. And I don't think he thought outside of himself. Self-awareness is very important. If I know 25 teams are told the last few days that they're going to be here, and then I wait 1 hour before, I don't care who the fuck you are. We was talking about this in the den the other night, and we had some interesting debate back and forth about it. I don't care who you are. If you tell somebody you're going on a date, or you supposed to meet somebody, and you say, hey, we're going to be here, and this is what you've been saying for the last 2 or 3 days, we're going to be here at 7 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock, you an hour across town, say, hey, man, I'm going to be over here. Come meet me over here. People come on, like most people gonna be like, man, fuck you. I ain't finna do that. I ain't gonna catch you next time or whatever else it is. You make it inconvenient for people. So you're making it inconvenient for 25 people or however many they sent for their little crew, as opposed to make it just convenient for yourself. Should have showed up where you are. You had 3 times as many people there. I think that enhances your opportunity. Again, if you want to play the rule, you want to take control of the shit, you want to play it however you want to, that's fine and dandy. But you have to deal with the consequence. And what you said is true. He gave him an out. I don't think he thought about the extenuating circumstances. I don't think he thought about the long term of the repercussions of those actions. You go from an NFL facility to a high school somewhere, and I mean, it to me, it's just it's on some other shit, man. Like I said, I don't think it was a smart move at all. Whoever's in his circle should have at least brought that to his attention. Like, I get it, but like you said, it also makes it look like you're bigger than the situation. And so, like you said, nobody's going to deal with that just from a backup quarterback.
And I put it to you like this, because Wink brought this up about the Texans, just to put Texas spin on it. Yesterday's performance for Deshaun give Deshaun naysayers, like people who didn't want to draft Deshaun or whatever. See, I told you, because it was a bad game.
Yeah.
That situation gives the people who are against Cap, see, I told you. Like when you in that position, you just, like my mom would say, you gotta dot your I's and cross all your T's. Yeah. Like you gotta make sure that you don't, like I say, you gotta work twice as hard to get half as far. Yeah. We can't have any missteps. We can't have nothing like, oops, we forgot about this. We gotta do this. No, we gotta have everything on the up and up. Yeah. And we gotta do everything the best that we could possibly do, just to even get a half of a shot, let alone to get a full shot. Yeah. So when you start going back on that, you basically taking out your own hands, and you basically
It's
You know,
self-inflicted.
yeah. You basically committing career suicide with that. Like, are you? That's what are you basically doing? Because you're basically like, because all they're gonna do, the people who never wanted you to begin with, they're gonna point to that and say, "I told you." That's the conversation. Say, "I told you." I was right about Cap.
Yeah.
That's all he's gonna do. And we can sit up here and debate whatever. But at the end of the day, can't none of us
Yeah.
give him employment.
Yeah.
Can't none. I mean, let's start doing sauce.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We can't.
I got to check his resume, you know.
Can't none of us put him on the roster because I
Yeah.
damn sure take him on as a Texan.
Yeah.
So
I
can't
said-
none of us give him employment.
And that's my
So
thing. Whether I
guys
agree
who-
or disagree.
The
I
guys
said that
who give
too.
employment is the guys that you turning away.
Yeah.
Like you can have everybody, every fan of every NFL team in your corner,
Yeah.
and won't sign you.
Yeah.
Can't none of us sign your checks.
Yeah. And that's what I was arguing with a certain professor about. Like, yeah, you can go have the media out there. You can go have them show, look, I still got it. But ain't nobody out there giving you an opportunity. I can't give it up. You can't give the tens of thousands of people in the stands can't give you an opportunity. Who can give you an opportunity is the 25 people who showed up at the Falcon Stadium, and maybe that 8 that slid across town to go see. They were like, "Fuck it, we already here. You know, we gonna go see what's up." But again, like I say, you can't make self-inflicted moves, and just because you change, think that everybody is they along with it, because it makes it to me like a situation look like this is more trouble than it's worth. You know, I was told one thing, you do something different for whatever reason. It is what it is. But you know, that's that, man. I mean, the facts is that he moved it. I mean, that's the only facts that why not go to where it was at, where everything was scheduled to be? Why not just have your worker? Like, I don't understand. Like, I get it. You want to control your narrative? That's fine. I think there's underlying shit on this side. I want my people. I really believe, honestly, and this is what I was saying in the den, is that I think he's making a documentary on the shit. That's what I really think. I think there's a documentary behind the scene, and that's why he got his own people, so he can get his own footage. Like, he got his own shit. What are you talking about, Professor? We didn't argue about this. We can argue about this shit. What are you saying, man? But here's my deal, man. My thing is this, like I said, if it was a scheduled situation, why not show up? Me, you, anybody else in here, like Spitz Hitter, if you have a job interview, you can't call him and say, "Hey, man, I'm chilling. You come to my house." You know what I'm saying? You come over here and interview me. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to get that job? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. And so my thing is like, it is what it is. And y'all got to understand what happened is I set this stream up because I did a new stream. So it's not, the latency is a little bit slower. So if I'm not catching your messages and stuff like that, it's like it's coming up slower than it normally would. Usually it'd be like right after we talk about it. So it's coming up a little bit slower than what it normally, because I messed the settings up when I started the stream because I did it way early in the morning. But my thing is this, man. You know, yeah, we'll get back to the text because we gonna go about another 15. But like I said, we had we deep dived into this in the den. We had several arguments. Me and Trill have been arguing about this, not only in the den, but we've been arguing this via DM on the gram. But there was a nice pause midway. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it was, but we did come to a mutual agreement. It wasn't necessarily about Cap, but it was a mutual agreement on something. So my thing is this though, but slide back to the Texans, where we're at right now, and just again, it's a winning record. What is it? 6-4. It looks good. 7-3 would have been much better. It is what it is. You got 2 challenging games coming up. I think the Colts game gets a little bit easier, but I think the stakes are actually a little bit higher. And what I mean by that, well, for Bill O'Brien at least, and what I mean by that is, if you can't beat an injured Colts team, then what is Kyle McNair in his office thinking at that time? You can't beat an injured Colts team. Why even entertain going next week to the Patriots? Like, what are your thoughts? I mean, if again, like I'm kind of reverting back to the loss. And again, if we win, we win. We still got to put in a lot more work. That's why I say I think a loss does more damage to us than a win really helps us. And that's why I say the stakes are higher. Do you think that he finishes out the season if you don't beat this Colts team?
It depends. Like I say, if you lose to the Colts, it's gonna pain me to say this, but we gotta hope they lose to the Patriots, because if he loses to the Colts and then goes 6-5 and then turns around and beats the Patriots, that's all that people gonna care about. That's all they're gonna care about, because that's all they're gonna care about. Oh, they beat the Patriots, and then because then the last I think about the last four is home at Denver, at Tennessee, at Tampa Bay, and then home at Tennessee. You're gonna be favored in all. Like, win lose these next two games, the Texans are more likely gonna be favored in all four of those games. So there's a case to be made that they can still, if they lose to the Colts, end up being lose to the Colts and beat the Patriots, they can end up being 11-5, and then they won't get you're gonna let him go into the playoffs. Yeah. So like I said, if he loses to the Colts but loses to the Patriots, loses to the Colts but beat the Patriots, he's gonna finish out the season. Now, if he loses to both, then it depends on how knee-jerk Cal McNair really is. Does he want to go ahead and get a jump start on it, or does he want to? Is he as patient as his dad and just allow him to finish out the season? I would hope he would be extremely knee-jerk and fire Bill O'Brien on the field when the game is over Sunday night. Like when they out there shaking hands, he got a pink slip ready. Yeah. Don't even bother going that way, cause go ahead, go clean up your stuff. Don't talk to the team. Don't even talk to the team. Just go to your office, get your stuff ready. We gonna lock we gonna change the locks. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. If and I think especially because then if you take a L to the Patriots in any fashion similar to this Baltimore game. Yeah, you can him. You definitely can him. If it's close, I still don't think I can justify it. But I think even if you beat the Colts, and then like I said, you face the Patriots, and you get smoked like you get smoked against this Baltimore team, again, if you're still in playoff situation, you there. But I think you get fired either way, because it's to the point where it's like, man, every time it comes to facing a leader in that, like Tenny was mentioning, a leader in the current leader in the AFC. You fail, and you fail miserably. I mean, we've seen too many of these games. Like when the stakes are on the line, when it's a very valuable game. It's not even like, well, damn, Billy O was close. Oh, we was close in this game. It's a shellacking. It's like it's a fucking ass kicking, and it's just like how. You can blame quarterbacks, but again, it's been over a variety of quarterbacks, and y'all can say, well, you got some bad quarterbacks. Those are quarterbacks he wanted for the most part, except for. Or was it Fitz? Outside of that, those are guys that he wanted. So
he brought in Fitz. I don't think he wanted Oswald, because him and Oswald looked like they was at odds the whole season. Yeah. I don't think he wanted Oswald, but he damn sure wanted Hoyer and Malcolm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. And so the thing about that is, like, Oswald. We know Osweiler is a few screws loose, man. He ain't all there. Like I'm telling you, like, yeah, he got paid. I don't know how. He got a hell of an agent. Whoever coming into the league need to get Osweiler's agent, but that man is a dingbat, man. Like
you see how he got punked for that pizza?
Nah, what?
I think he was still in Denver at this time. Like, he had a pizza. It was, and the thing about it, he was with his gal. I think that's his wife. So he was with his wife. Like, and he had the pizza, and like somebody took it, and he looked at him, and like they pushed him, like he like got shoved in and looked back like this. It didn't even do nothing. Just walked away. Like, you just let somebody just punk you out there in front of your woman on camera.
Man, yeah, it ain't gonna happen. Yeah, look, fuck the contract, fuck all that other shit. You ain't fuck the woman. You ain't finna punk me for my pizza, goddamn. Shit, nah. But all jokes aside, but yeah, man, that's tough. Like I say, and the funny thing about that is, because I had learned later on that there was a similar situation to that happened to Matt Schaub. Because Matt Schaub whooped a guy. He whooped somebody's ass in college. I think he had caught a little case behind it. He beat somebody, I think they was at a bar, they was drinking or some shit like that. Somebody came up talking shit to him, and he whooped his ass. That's the crazy shit. Like, I'm like, damn, Schaub got gangster with somebody? Well, so he got that serial killer look for no reason. But yeah.
What was that when somebody pulled up in his drive-through though?
Oh man, look, I don't know. I don't know about that one, man. Look,
Maybe they had different
yeah,
skin pigmentation.
yeah. It's look. H-Town is much different than what was it, Virginia? That's where he went to.
Yeah, he went
Yeah.
to Virginia.
So yeah. H-Town is much different than Virginia, man. This is a different breed out there. So
I
certain
mean,
things.
hey, they got Ed Reed for what, 20,000, 200,000,
Man,
something like that.
they got Ed Reed. Some niggas shot Carl Landry. I don't know if you remember that shit. A couple of days. Carl Landry when he was on the on the Rockets. Got in a car wreck. These niggas tried to kill him. Like that nigga was running down. I forgot where he was at. He was running down the street. They shot him in the calf and some shit. Like I was like, God damn, niggas out here is crazy, man. But yeah, it's
And
like
that's the reason why I didn't want AB, because AB was not gonna last in Houston.
oh no, nigga would have robbed him for that blonde mustache and everything. He'd have been out of there, that clown ass nigga. But and I know we sound real negative, and yeah, I'm going back to the negativity because I told y'all, man, I tried to get y'all some positivity, and it backfired. It backfired tremendously. But my thing,
that's something else I want to talk about because y'all brought it up. And y'all talked yesterday, you and Wink, because I've heard a lot of people go back and forth about this.
Yeah.
I heard some people like, man, sure could use JJ out there, and then I know y'all brought up Clowney, and this is it. This is it. Yesterday's game, even though it was a piss poor effort all the way around, but yesterday's game is a prime example of why you needed both.
Yeah.
Because I know Clowney had an amazing game from the pass rusher last Monday night, but he don't give you that every game.
No.
Like I mean, we seen it last year against the Colts. We seen it back in 2016 against the Colts. We see it here and there, but it's not every game.
Yeah.
The Watt is a clear better pass rusher. But what have I always told y'all about Clowney? Clowney is the best run defender, and he's the best run defender in the NFL. That's something that JJ lacks on, partly because they allowed JJ to freelance in this defense because he normally gets home when it comes to pass rushing, but because he freelances, he gives you a little bit left desire when it comes to stopping the run. Yeah. Clowney is they're actually a good combination of the two, like because one is a better pass rusher, the other one's a better run stopper. Yeah. One's a decent run stopper, but he's a better pass rusher. One is a decent pass rusher, but he's a way better run stopper. Yeah. And you need both of them to make this defense work. And I think we only got to see them all together for one season. That was last year. Yeah. Now the secondary was chicken shit, so it didn't help you that much. Yeah. But yesterday was the type of game that you would have needed both. You would need that pass rush from JJ, and you would need that run stopping capability of Clowney. Yeah. And it just goes by another reason. That's another thing that's damning to Bill O'Brien. His ego's too much that he allowed his ego to get away with Clowney. Even though how many issues you have with Clowney, even if you had even if you wasn't thinking about bringing him back and giving him a long-term contract, you had him under a 1-year deal.
And what issue did you really have with Clowney? Like, that's my thing. When have you heard Clowney in the news? Never. You never heard it. Clowney's biggest thing in the news was it involved dogs. One time he lost his dog, and then one time he got bit by Swearinger dog. Outside of that, you've never heard anything about Clowney. He called Bortles trash and put a bunch of toys in some trash cans after the Jags fans said, like, what have you? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, so people want to sit here and justify,
from what I hear, Clowney is a legit 100% good dude. Yeah. From all accounts, everybody. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about Clowney. Clowney might look like a gangster. He might look all way that he's from the hood. He thuggish. Yeah. But from what I hear, Clowney is 100% good, like a good free-hearted, kind dude. Yeah. That I think Jackson. Cream. When Cream used to have that show, he always used to ask them, like, who's the most jolliest person on the team? Everybody always said Clowney. Clowney is always the most jolliest person on the team.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. But, again, my thing is just, like I say, it is what it is. And that's what I say. I don't know. Again, I agree with you. It's the ego. And I think eventually it's going to consume you because, I mean, and but here's another thing the fans got to realize too, and like I said, we're going to get ready to wind about 5 more minutes here. Like, I don't even know why Bill O'Brien does press. Like, Bill O'Brien, his pressers are fake Belichick pressers. Okay, because you realize that he's trolling when he says the same thing over and over. He's trolling y'all. He just says that because he don't want to do the fucking press. He does not want to do them. So he just says, "I got a coach," but it's not that. He gets to know. Look at his face. Just watch him talk half the time. Watch his eyes expressions when he talks to certain people. He hates doing that shit, but he's fucking trolling. B-Scar TV is kind of boo boo. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, that shit is trash. I can't even watch it. Ain't nothing funny about that. Like he's so dry. I mean, Kareem was somewhat entertaining. Like Brandon Scarlett hang that up.
Yeah, that's not your thing, man. But like I say, and that's what I say. It's again when Bill O'Brien thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Again, he feels like he's above certain shit. I don't know if that comes from working within the Patriots organization, but you didn't do anything with the Patriots really. Not that you contributed, and then
he wasn't the championship team.
Exactly, and so
wasn't.
You didn't contribute anything, but for some reason you got this ego carryover, like you've done that. But you know whose fault that is? It's the Texans front office. It's the ownership, because they've allowed him to do this. I think that, and as much as I didn't really care for Rick Smith as a whole, he did get us some of our best players of all time. It is what it is. But I think that kind of somewhat kept that in check. But it didn't, like it's like now that he's gone, it's been released on the organization, and it's like nobody's there to just say, hey, this is a dumb fucking move. Because I want y'all to think about something, man. You got Bill O'Brien, the coach who's never won anything, who's now your GM, and you got a guy who was the Patriots priest, basically.
The chaplain.
Yeah, the chaplain, and that's where you're at. These are the two biggest guys that are. The dude was not a real person in the Patriots organization. He was a what did they call him? A coach, a certain character coach. You know what I'm saying? And you go from character coach to GM. What experience do you have to be in that role? And that's what I'm saying. All you have to do is say, hey, I live in Boston. I want a job with the Texans, and they'll hire your ass. Tell them you eat some Boston baked beans, they'll hire your ass on the fucking Texans.
Like he was breathing that New England air.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the shit kills me, man, and it's very frustrating. And I think it needs a complete overhaul of this organization. Like, look, y'all. And the reason we're critical on this shit, y'all say, oh, you guys are negative.
Lincoln Riley, Rex Ryan. Lincoln Riley, head coach. Rex Ryan, defensive coordinator. Right now. That's what I want.
You say you fucking deleted the Texas app. I don't even know if I got that. I think I might have too. I haven't been fucking with that. I've been fucking with this Sudoku tough. But like I say, man, it's like, man, and I said it from the beginning of the year. My thing with Bill O'Brien, I've said this actually from the jump. Like, I don't think Bill O'Brien, even when I was more positive on Bill O'Brien, like, I don't think Bill O'Brien is the guy that gets you to a Super Bowl. I think he's a guy that gets you, I think he can be an okay to good coach. I don't think he'll ever be a great coach until he gets knocked off that fucking high horse, hits rock bottom, recalibrates, gets another opportunity, maybe, like I say, go as a coordinator somewhere or whatever. Maybe he might just need to be a fucking GM somewhere. Go as a coordinator somewhere, kind of get under a different winning organization, learn some things, take a self-analysis, realize his flaws, the ego is an issue, and then maybe get another shot. Then I think he could take whatever team. After that, he may be able to take them to the next level if he gets some things right. But it won't happen in the Texans organization. Like, you've seen time and time again, there's certain coaches that have become good, but that's only after they've been knocked down and then given another opportunity. And I think that's what he needs. Yeah, the Dabo shit ain't gonna ever happen, man. Like, just yeah, it'll never ever happen. The Texans ain't gonna pay that money, and he ain't gonna leave. He's a god where he's at. Why would he leave? Like, he's in the conversation. Hey, look, I'm in the national championship conversation, or I could go. Figure out what's happening. I can go to Frenchie's. I can go to national championship, or I can go to Frenchie's. That's basically his choices if he came to Houston.
And then get criticized. They not criticizing him in Clemson. They love him, like you say. They love him down there. He has no criticism. Like, and then you got players all around the country who want gonna come play from him too. Like, that's another thing about college. Like, you can get the best. You can get the best. Like, you're not done to draft picks or I can only pick this part of the talent pool. You can go all over the country and get the best out of all 50 states.
Yeah, man.
So, like,
and I'm glad you mentioned that too, because This is why I say too, whoever comes in needs to be experienced because of the, people say, oh, well, we still got drafted, we got second round, we got this, and we got that. Yeah, we got mid and late round picks, we got a couple of early picks, but it's like you're gonna have to deal with not having a shot at some of the best talent for the next couple of years. And if you do move up to get some of the best talent, you're still gonna be kind of handicapped in the overall draft. You're gonna have to give up some shit. What you got there?
I think if you get the right head coach, I think you could have a John Gruden, the Tampa Bay type of experience where your team just shoots off, has all the talent, just shoots off, and is in the Super Bowl or at least in the conference championship game because you have the quarterback, you have the receiver. You hope that yesterday was an aberration, and you have fixed the offensive line. You hope that the youth that you acquired can come together in the secondary. But those things hope. But you have the main important thing, which is the QB. And I think if you have the right quarterback, head coach, offensive coordinator, that right combination, I think that you could do. Guys, I think you could do some things defensively if you had a better defensive scheme. Because I think the rack wets the bed just as much as Bill O'Brien. That's why you get rid of both of them. And this is the thing. We completely the NFL is fortunate that the game was a blowout. The reason why, because just like I said, Cap, we gave the NFL an out by that game being a blowout because that non-pass interference call that was not called. One, we can't complain about it because if we complain about it, we being petty. Yeah. But it's flying on the radar because it was a blowout. Now if the Texans were lost in a close game, people gonna refer, man, we got fucked out of that pass interference. Why they shouldn't even allow them to even challenge. That shit just bullshit. They shouldn't even allow them to challenge no more.
Yeah, because they don't ever overturn them hoes anyway, and that's the crazy shit. So that's what I'm saying yesterday on the thing. I was like, man, why is this even a thing? Because you can get fucking tackled, they're not gonna overturn that bitch. And I think that's more the fucking referee's pride. For missing the shit, and it's like, how dare you even, correct me and challenge my, call or non-call. I think that's some ref pride going. That's why I say we need full-time referees who actually get a chance to study these games each and every week, know the players that you're going to be refereeing, understand their style, how they play, and referee them accordingly. There was another thing I was just thinking. It was shit that you were saying. You was talking about Rack defensively. Something right before that. Damn. I fucking slipped my mind. But yeah, I agree. With the Cornell thing, I think. With the pieces that you haven't played. What you said about with Gruden. But the thing before that, who was that before that? Dungy. They came in before Gruden. But see, that's the thing. Dungy laid a foundation, and this is something I've said about Bill O'Brien. And Dungy laid a foundation of it's not too complicated. Let's get back to the basics and make sure we do the basics right. Make sure if we do the basics, he basically retaught them because I was listening to some shit. They was talking about the Tampa Bay teams and when he came in and then how he took that to Indy and implemented that same thing. But he was talking about the flaw in that situation. But he talking about what he did basically he retaught football to professionals. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they would be. There would be games that they would be disciplined, but when shit would get tight, that's when shit would kind of fall apart. In those games where it get crucial, where the pressure would get real high, they would revert back to their old habits. But the thing is, I think that for that to work, you'd have to have a guy who's laid a foundation. But Bill O'Brien's thing is, hey, I got this play sheet with 4,000 calls on it. Learn all these calls or learn all these plays and figure it out. That's why you see these gaffes and these missteps all the time especially from these younger players. That's why they don't like to play rookies because you're putting too much on their goddamn plate. Instead, you need to go back to the base and you do it. And I hate to say this, but I've said it before. You got to do what Kubiak did. Kubiak ran the same shit over and over and over until it was done right, executed to perfection. And what about trying to cram as many plays in as possible? Let's run this shit to perfection because Kubiak believed that his offense could beat any defense. Doesn't matter. Yeah. But O'Brien tries to get crafty and create. Well, we're going to cater to whatever the defense does, so we're going to make adjustments. And so, okay, you already losing by doing that because you're basically giving them the upper hand by whatever they do. We'll just cater to that. And we'll try to work. You go in and dominate, play your game, make them adjust to you. But
and I think that's what happened to Deshaun. He didn't play his game. Like I said, that's the difference between both Deshaun and Lamar. I had Raven fans come out there and agree with what I was saying. They both come into the game. They both was trying to play, I guess, each other's ball. They're both trying to one up each other, and then Lamar just realized, like, hey, I'm gonna play Lamar Jackson football. I'm gonna settle down, and that's when Lamar started eating. Deshaun never got into that form. He never got into that rhythm of playing his game, and I think that fumble took him out. It was and then the passing interference probably did, but he just got taken out of his game and never got into it. Rather, and that's what happened, and that's the reason why we had the piss poor performance out of him. The thing about Kubiak will not only run his thing to perfection. Kubiak scripted like the first quarter, like the whole first quarter of the plays were already scripted. They will already know exactly what you're gonna do: first down, second down, third down. First down, second down, third down. Like this whole game plan offense, it sound good. It sound good, but the shit doesn't work. Outside of working in Boston, it don't only works in New England. It don't work nowhere else. They ain't took it to the Jets. They ain't took it to the Browns. They ain't took it to the Chiefs. They ain't took it to Denver. They ain't took it to St. Louis when their offensive coordinator was insane. It's not working in Miami, it ain't working in Detroit, it damn sure ain't working in Houston. It's not working nowhere. It doesn't. Only place it works is in New England. That's it. Don't work nowhere else. I don't know why they constantly want to keep bringing this. They keep doing their bullshit because it don't work nowhere else.
I agree.
It does not work anywhere else, and I think that I agree with you because if there is a flawed system and you're trying to teach somebody how to do something, because like you said, when the chips get down, it gets tight. They're gonna creatures are gonna go back to their old habits. They're gonna go back to doing what they were always doing because they're gonna go back and do things they weren't thinking they were doing. So you do have that situation. So I just think because of the talent that we do have, because it's not like that we're deployed of talent. We have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. I just think that this coach does put too much on them. And I think yesterday, and it's crazy to think about this coming off a bye week at that.
Man.
When you have all this time to prepare, all these new pieces in and rush them in. We got a lot of people that we're relying on that only been here for 2 months.
Yeah.
And I think that's another difference between our team and that Ravens team looked like a close knit brotherhood type team. Like they've been together for 10 years. Like they look like they've been together. And like I was telling one of my coworker, I know Mark Ingram played with Drew Brees. Yeah, he loves playing with Lamar Jackson. He been playing with Drew Brees, and Drew Brees is a better quarterback, but he loves playing with Lamar Jackson because he's a nigga's nigga. Yeah.
But the thing that look
players coach Lamar's a nigga's nigga. Like he a real.
But here's my thing is, but that's a product of the coaching, and like I said yesterday, it's more than X's and O's when it comes to coach. People yell game plan, well, they got to execute on the field. A coach is supposed to have you emotionally, mentally ready to step on that field and play. That's why they look like a close-knit team for so long, because that's that Harbaugh has implemented that culture. What is, and we've been saying this for years, what is the Texans culture? No one can answer that. No one can give you, if you say, hey, what is the Texans culture? Rock and roll Texans. That's not, and that's the worst fucking saying in all the league. I don't even know all the other teams' fucking little kids. Rock and roll Texans is hands down the worst fucking touchdown catchphrase, whatever.
I don't like the Titans. Touchdown, Titans. Rock and roll Texans.
Yeah, rock and roll. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so, it is what it is. But again, my thing is just like, man, look, my thing is like, yeah, and what did happen to Jordan Thomas? But again, like I say, you just got away from things that work. You can't tell me what the Texans culture is. I mean, this is something I've been asking for years. I've never got an answer. I'm sure you've asked the same thing. I've never heard anybody give me an answer to what is the Texans culture, man. So it being an almost team, that's their God, that's tough.
Texans going Texan, but no disrespect, because I know you're a Rockets fan, and an Astros fan. Is it a city thing?
It is the city.
Is it Houston going Houston?
It's the city, man. Because like I said, it's something across. I mean, because it was one that I noticed with the Astros, and the Astros I think was different. They won one recently. They are super stacked with talent. Now, fuck all the cheat shit. Like I say, saying that if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Goddamn. I ain't even mad at that. I don't really give a shit. But the Astros, I like them because they were cocky and they were humble but cocky. They was like, yeah, we come in here, we come to play ball, we gonna do the damn thing. They were some trendsetters. The Rockets, they implemented their own style. We're gonna shoot a bunch of threes. We're gonna do a bunch of layups, and then you're just gonna have to deal with everything else in between. They stayed aggressive when everybody gave up and nobody wanted to try to challenge the Warriors. The Rockets were the only ones still trying to make moves, even though that was the only team they kept falling short to. They had a record-setting season, still just fell short. They stayed aggressive. The Texans, this year is the first year that they've gotten aggressive like that. And the dividends haven't quite paid off. The Rockets, like I say, Western Conference Final, they get out of the first round of the playoffs. Astros, same deal. Even when last year, I think they were second round, they got knocked out. I might be wrong. Y'all correct me if I am. But other teams get aggressive. It pays dividends because they have coaches who know their players. O'Brien gets players and tries to make them fit what he wants to do when they may not be suited for that. And it's not their strength. Same thing with Romeo Crennel. You can talk about having these guys that are man corners playing zone and all. We can go to a whole bunch of shit. And they think
Don't
that
make any sense.
Yeah, they think that they can bend people to their will instead of saying either let's get people who are this is their strong suit, what we want to do, or maybe we can make adjustments and capitalize on the talent that these guys have. Because to me, I don't understand how you couldn't make. You tell me you had to play Whitney out of position, whatever. I don't understand how you couldn't make, and y'all can get mad, but you're still going back to Clowney. You had Clowney, Watt, and Merciless on the field at the same time. And you couldn't make that work. Merciless numbers had to decline. You can talk about Clowney. Watt had a great season. It is what it is. But you couldn't find a way, a la adjusting to a 4-3, and putting your best pass rushers on the team, having them on the line or whatever you want to do. But you drop a Merciless in the coverage, and again, he's not terrible, he's not great. It is what it is.
Could Merciless survive on the line all game?
I think you could, but you got guys that you could back them up and you rotate them in with. But I think that in your most crucial passing situation, those known passing situations, you put them down there, And so and that's my thing. Like I say, you telling me that you couldn't find a way to have these three guys and capitalize on their strengths on the field, it's just like, come on, man. All this shit is just like y'all want to do this. Y'all have this thing in your mind. It's the smartest guys in the room mentality again.
It's that, and it's just the mentality of older way. Think about it, like Cornell's 70-some years old. Bill O'Brien is an older guy, more of a I'm like you just said, smartest guy in the room. Me and these guys at work was talking about this the other day. We were talking about Lamar Jackson, and like this is the reason why Lamar Jackson is successful because they bend to an offense to bend towards the skill sets. Something that Vince Young didn't get a chance to do. Other quarterbacks, like I said, Michael Vick didn't get a chance to run this type of offense because he has a coach who understands. I have a guy with enormous talent. I'm going to do the things that he does well, maximize that, try to minimize the things that he does not that well, and go out there and win football games. You got all these old school coaches out there that have these big ass, thick ass playbooks about this damn big. You're going to run my system. And if you don't run, you're the problem. If it doesn't succeed, it's not. These players are flawless. It's you. My system is flawless. It's you. And we got to get rid of you. And that's how you have a lot of busts in the NFL because guys don't bend towards the talent. And especially when you draft a quarterback in the first round, let alone top 5. I don't understand why teams will do that. And I think that's the reason why some of these people like Sean McVay was so good to start off because he understood what he could do with his team. He minimized the things that Goff did bad and maximized the things that Goff did well and had Goff looking like a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. I never thought Goff should have been taken number 1 overall, but he looked it decent enough in that offense because he bended towards the things that he does well to make him look like that. I don't understand why other coaches don't do that. So, and that goes for offensive and defensive minded coaches. They have talent on their team, and they don't know how to use their talent because they got their heads so stuck up their ass that they gotta go with their own playbook and their own system instead of trying to I got man corners.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run zone.
Look,
What?
and this is my thing though, and that's the thing. And the point you made about older coaches, again, they're used to things that worked in the past. They don't want to make those. I think when you, like you said, you say Sean McVay, you look at some of these younger guys, they're more fluid, they're more adaptable, and they're looking at what they got. And they say, okay, well, I can change some things up. Like you mentioned, Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien runs a. Deshaun is giving it new life, but Bill O'Brien runs an old style offense. Prior to, I feel like I say, feeling like Tim Kelly getting his hands on some things. Come on, Bill O'Brien ran an outdated offense. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't anything. You talking about these long development plays when you had no offensive lines. I think everybody saw that. Why are we doing this? There's no protection.
The offense worked when the offense worked the best is when they implemented Clemson plays into it.
Exactly. And that's what the thing about what we said about Lamar too is Harbaugh them said they went back to college. I forgot what they mentioned a couple of colleges. They went in and they studied and got some lessons from certain coaching staffs about running the pistol and plays like that. And they said they took that shit and put it in their offense.
And they also hired the offensive coordinator who was Cap's offensive coordinator in San Francisco when they went to the Super Bowl. They dug in. A quarterback who they spent a first-round pick on, they dug in and said, we're going to do everything we possibly can to make him successful. We're going to go out there. We're going to get a speed receiver in Hollywood. We're going to get all these tight ends. We're going to overload and get all these running backs. They have to go after all these running backs. While the Texans, outside, they got Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, but I think the only urgency of that is because, you cut Foreman and you lose Lamar Miller to ACL. Yeah. If you don't lose Lamar Miller to ACL, you don't have Carlos Hyde. They're not going after Carlos Hyde.
And this offense don't look the way because Carlos Hyde has been a spark because the reason you're able to do certain things in this offense is because of how hard Carlos Hyde been running because the versatility that Duke is giving you too. But I have to give it to y'all. You and Trill said it. I was just like, hey, Lamar's all right. But you see a significant difference when it comes to Carlos Hyde's running style, able to make cuts, able to stretch it out. Lamar Miller's a straight-ahead guy. I don't think Lamar's the sharpest knife in the drawer either. It is what it is, but he's just going to do his job. Vision. And so
the only thing that Lamar does better than Hyde is he's a better ball carrier because Hyde be fumbling. He fumbled that pill. He fumbled that pill. He fumbled. But other than that, Lamar Miller might be faster. They tell me he's faster because of his forward time. But let's say, give me a hard runner. Give me a guy who's going to put his head down, plant that foot, and going to get you 3 to 4 yards every single time he touch that ball. Yeah. Give me a guy who's going to hit that hole hard and aggressive. And that's what Carlos Hyde did. Carlos Hyde, that's nothing we did yesterday. We got away from the run way too early.
Man, what? Absolutely. I absolutely agree.
Way too early.
But here's the deal. We're going to get ready to wind it down here. But I see a text that came, so I guess I can read the text. What you got?
Before that, I'm going to ask you a question. I got to ask you a question. This is not a football topic. I got to ask you a question, though.
Okay.
Man, if you just really hungry
and
you starving, which Roman noodles you going to take? Chicken or beef if you got the choice? Go and get one.
Beef.
Sauce Nation, comment down below.
I'm a beef. I'm a beef.
If you go pick one,
I'm going with beef.
One Roman noodles.
Man, I had this argument I'm going with beef. I had this argument the other day with somebody. Look, I'm not hating on the chicken. Chicken is a 1B. But I'm beef. I'm beef all day. Beef got more flavor to me, man. Like the chicken is cool, but the beef got more flavor to me, man. Okay, I see a beef in there. It's gonna take a little second because I know, like I said, it's behind a little bit. We got a couple of chickens. Okay, I see we got a couple of chickens. This is one of them debates, man. I'm fucking beef. Chicken taking the lead. Okay, we got a couple of beefs. This is interesting. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm trying to see. I think chicken got a slight lead on it. I think you got maybe 1 or 2 more in the chicken department right now. But this is interesting. That's a very interesting question. That's I might have to throw that in the den later on. See what kind of.
You might tell me one of your den topics.
just gonna go and make a list of foods and just make comparisons. That's gonna be we're gonna have a call in. But yeah, I'm gonna read this text. While y'all put y'all votes in, I'm gonna read this text real quick. Chandler text the line. Say, look, I think we're in a tough situation with this team. For one, we're not good enough to beat the Ravens and Patriots. Also, I can see you're disappointed in the game yesterday. I get that. But let's say we beat the Colts and the Patriots. Does that help our chances of division or a bye? It's Chandler. Team's gonna have to lose some games. I don't know the exact. I like to say the exact standings as far as within the next couple of weeks of who has to win, who has to lose for us to get close. But if we're just following the trends, it's not looking that great for us. Now, I know it's been loss, win, win, loss, win, win, loss, win, win. And I think that yesterday's loss fell on schedule, so technically we should win the next two. But I don't know. Like I said, if the Ravens keep on winning, if the Patriots keep winning, it's gonna be a very interesting situation, man. It's like I said, I think that you got to deal with those two. Those are two teams to beat right now. So and the thing about it though, and here's another question. While I see you going, okay, I don't know. Chicken might have a.
Because it's chicken.
Yeah, chickens and niggas is quite fond of one another. But here's this nigga said the beef is the Lamar Miller of noodles. I'm done with you, Trill. I'm done, nigga.
Trill, man. Oh, Trill.
But my thing is this though, man. My thing is this and nigga made me forget my whole thought process. This nigga said, I don't imagine a pack of chicken, a pack of beef running like Lamar Miller straight ahead to that pot. Why is it that the Texans can't ever control their own destiny, man? Because whenever it falls in their lap, all you got to do is control your destiny. Why can't we do that?
It was with the bed, don't it?
Yeah, every time, man.
This is dating back to QB.
Yeah. When the ball is in your court, all you got to do is you play the opponents you need to beat. It's not like you got to hope somebody else does anything like. The ball is in your court. You throw that hoe out of bounds. You just throw that hoe in the stands like fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, fuck this game. You know what I'm saying? You shooting threes like Carlton and shit. It's just like I don't want to win this fucking game, man. It's tough, man. It's tough. So, we ain't gonna do no calls today. Like I said, I gotta go through the process.
Is the Bill O'Brien the news?
I'm done, man. Look, I ain't fucking with Trill. I'm taking this nigga Trill wrench, man. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick.
Oh man,
I meant to do this other day. But here's my thing, man. Anything you want to say to the people before we slide out, man? Because I'm supposed to be doing my meal prep. I told myself I can't eat after 8:30 and I need to go eat something. What you got on your mind, man? What's
he got to get to them beef noodles. That's what he got to do. He got to get.
I might got some in the stash, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's a damn shame. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody there, Sauce Nation, for kicking it with your boy one more again. I know it was a very disappointing loss, and I'm disgusted. But only thing I can hope, this is entertainment, so hopefully they can entertain me on Thursday. But like I say, my stance ain't changed. I don't give a damn what they do until January get here. Like this is all for naught. I mean, of course I want them to win, but it gets real when January gets here, and I especially with this type of team. Also, after watching what I watched today, you definitely want to make sure you play every game possible in NRG. With one, you can, and it get cold in January and February. Yeah. You want to control the weather. You don't want to go out to not Green Bay, but go out to Boston and go out to Baltimore and go to Kansas City where it could be raining and cold. At least if it's cold and raining down here in the city, we can just close the roof.
Yeah, it's gonna be closed anyway. They don't ever open that bitch. The motherfuckers don't ever open that goddamn roof. Already.
Anyway. It's the rookie year of Kareem Jackson.
I hate this. I hate this nigga Professor Trio, man. If he wouldn't have put me on that thing on the ground, man, I don't know if I can trust this nigga. Nah, Trio, right? But here's my deal, man. Like I say, look, I'm trying to halfway intermittent fast. Like I said, I got fat, nigga. I was looking at myself and I'm like, damn, I did a fast when I first got over. I'm fat as shit. So I got to tighten up for the new year. I got how many days left, so I'm on some restricting my diet on this meal prep shit. So I got to go eat. But man, shout out to Spitz, man. I appreciate you coming through, man, and we chopped it up. Like I said, it's a short week, so we'll definitely be doing some more streams, be dropping some more content, and talking about the Colts and everything that's coming up with that. But man, here's the deal. Make sure you hit the link in the description, and after this video, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll fix it because, like I said, when I switched it up, it was different. I'll make sure to put the link at the top if you're watching this. Go subscribe to Spit's channel. Ain't no excuse. I mean, y'all already see it. The man know what he's talking about, man. So no excuse not to go subscribe. Go show some love. Also, hit that fucking like button. If you want to enjoy some real shout out to everybody who has come to the den. If you want to enjoy some real conversation, I mean, about everything but sports, we might even be talking about noodles tonight. Make sure you slide to the den. You can go to thedenshow.com. We do the den live at 10 every night. And again, we just talk about a lot of different things, a variety of things.
We even behind the fucking Bills.
What? Oh, get the fuck out of here! Come on.
The Bills 7-3. Damn.
Yeah, I gotta go check it out. Now, cause I seen it the other day, and I just realized that it wasn't. And I meant to do it the other day, but I'd be caught up doing 2 or 3 things about the stream. Yeah, I just clicked the button. But like I said, my thing is, man, I fucks with y'all. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Just man, look, hey, just support independent sports content creator, even if I don't fuck with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who one of the Texan Tubers are, because Texan Tubers are or affiliated. So don't be freelancing throwing that name around to people who ain't Texan Tubers. Some of them niggas just talk about the Texans on the internet. They ain't Texan Tubers. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this, man. Outside of that, I appreciate it. We'll be live tomorrow, and if you want to, like I say, have some more real conversation, we'll be live at the end of 10 tonight. I gotta go eat. But y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients of the world. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Shout out to Spit, shout out to the Round Table, shout out to Wink, Wise, shout out to Tinny, Ray, shout out to Darren. And I always feel like I'm fucking forgetting somebody. Shout out to Hector. Hector has been holding it down for Soft Sports TV. Go subscribe to Soft Sports TV if you want that Dynamo, Astros, and I promise I'm gonna do some Rockets. I promise I'm gonna give y'all some. I'm just cleaning some stuff up, and especially if the Texans keep playing like this, y'all will get more Rockets videos. I'm gonna stop fucking with these niggas. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. With that being said, we're finna slide out. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, but most of all, y'all stay saucy. We out.
Perfect.